The virus has often been called the invisible enemy.
Does not care about your age, does not care about your health.
These are the faces and the stories of those who have lost the fight.
Including more first responders. The latest, a detective with the NYPD.
Yeah, that's the cough.
This is now life for Kevin Harris.
How much vitamin D do you need? New research suggests that low blood levels of vitamin D can increase your risk of lots of bad stuff. Heart disease can be caused if your vitamin D levels are too low. Okay? So how does the body make vitamin D? Sunlight interacting with your skin, right? And the skin literally converts certain types of hormones in the skin into vitamin D. So the more vitamin D your skin can produce is totally equal to how much sunlight you get. I can tell you this, every person of color living above the equator, you are not getting enough sunlight. It is impossible if you're living above Florida or the Carolinas to get enough sunlight that your body can produce adequate stores of vitamin D. You just can't do it. Now, we're dark-skinned people, right? We're coming from where? Africa. Africa is where on the equator? Equator goes right through, right? Now, it was very natural for our skin to develop its dark tone to be protective because we had an abundance of sunlight, right? We could produce enough vitamin D for years in Africa because there's so much sun. But now, when you take these dark-skinned people out of Africa, way above the equator, guess what? We're sunlight deprived. I guarantee you, every man in this room, if I check your blood level for vitamin D right now, if you're not on it, you're deficient. I checked my blood level. Normal blood level should be between 35 and 50. My blood level was 9. 9. Okay? 9. Now, if you're not getting enough sunlight, how do you get it then? Can you get it from the food that you eat? Is food a good source of vitamin D? No. There are very few forms of food which are unfortified where you can get adequate amounts of vitamin D. Fish oil is the best source to get natural, high quantities of vitamin D. So if you're eating lots of fresh, cold water fish, salmon, mackerel, things like that, you may get enough if you're doing a lot of that. But if you're not going to get enough. The bottom line is, what should you do, guys? You should have your blood levels checked. Very simple. Say, hey, doctor, who's had their levels checked for vitamin D? Right. See, that's not good. Everybody's doctor in here should be up on this. And if you're a person of color, I would say if you're white living in Maryland, you're probably vitamin D deficient too. So all of your doctors should have checked. And if they have not, the next time you see them, hey, can you check my vitamin D level? Let's find out what it is. Now, if you're taking a multivitamin tablet a day, how much vitamin D is in there? It's about 400 international units. The average African American needs 3,000 to 5,000 international units per day. It is very difficult to overdose on vitamin D, by the way. I take 5,000 a day. 5,000 international units a day. Okay, so what you're getting in a multivitamin is not enough.
Safe and effective, to me, gives me a great deal of satisfaction because a lot of the problems linked to vitamin D deficiency are rampant in the African American population. Hypertension, diabetes, overweight, obesity, and just even vitamin D deficiency itself, again, is in 2/3 of the free-living U.S. population who are black. I think this research has implications beyond the African American community, but it is most specifically, the findings I've been talking about are most specifically linked to the black community. But vitamin D deficiency is fairly prevalent even in non-African Americans in the United States.